In this video, I'm going to show you how to get started with your ECG reader kit. Okay, so here you can see all the components you get with your ECG reader kit to build your ECG reader, right? So start out with the PCB board, which has all the parts labeled on it. So your job is to solder all the parts on correctly in the right positions. Here's a close-up look at the ECG reader correctly assembled with all the components. One of the key things to remember here is the correct orientations of the ICs and the correct ICs in the right spots. So you can see this is the TLC272. The dot of the TL272 is right there. And you can see the little semicircle right there, the AD623. Everything else is pretty easy to tell the orientation. Obviously the resistors don't matter. The ceramic caps do not matter. The USB of the Arduino needs to be positioned aligned with the USB location listed there. I recommend using these removable sockets so that you can remove your Arduino if you need to. Same thing with the IC sockets there, but all those things are strictly optional. However, if you were to put one of these in the wrong socket and burn it up, or for whatever reason you just happen to get a bad one, you can always easily swap it out if you have those IC sockets. So I recommend using them. So the next thing you want to do is obviously solder each component onto the board. And if you need a little reminder, refresher on how to solder, I have a good video on my channel that'll help you out with that. Okay, once you have everything soldered onto your board, what you're going to want to do is put your Arduino into the sockets right here. So you want to take this, make sure the USB is facing the USB right here. Line up the pins, make sure everything's good. Push that down in nice and snug. Then you want to find your two chips. This is the TLC272 chip, and we need to place that into that socket right there. We need to pay careful attention to know where this dot is. The dot needs to face the semicircle right there. And if you made sure you put your socket in the correct way, it'll match the semicircle on the board. If you look at right there, that semicircle right there denotes the orientation of your IC. So it needs to be in that orientation or on the socket. It's going to be in this spot right here. Make sure you line up. Now we need to do the same thing with the AD623. All right, so in this case, we want the semicircle on our AD623 to point towards the Arduino. It should fit in there pretty nicely. Next, we're going to connect our 3 leads to our 3mm audio jack right here. Now make sure, some people will put this in and they'll think it's in right there. Make sure you push this all the way in, or else it's not going to work. So next you can connect the ECG leads to your electrodes and to a person in the correct order.